Good evening. Once again, I'm Stephanie Ruhle. 180 days from the midterm elections. And just hours ago, the January 6th committee did something never done before. Less than a month before public hearings on the investigation, the committee today issued subpoenas to their own House colleagues, requesting they come and testify about the insurrection. The 5 subpoenaed Republicans include caucus leader Kevin McCarthy, Andy Biggs of Arizona, Mo Brooks of Alabama, Jim Jordan of Ohio, and Scott Perry of Pennsylvania. All are staunch allies of former President Trump, and all refuse to comply with earlier requests and invites from the committee to appear voluntarily.
These are people who were involved in discussions with the president. They were in communication with White House staff on January 6th, leading up to it. Some were involved in the effort to overturn the election. Some spoke at the rally before the attack. One has said publicly that the president called him to rescind the election.
The committee wants to talk to McCarthy about his heated call with Trump during the riot. Investigators want to know what Biggs knows about the Stop the Steal efforts. They hope Brooks can tell them more about Trump's ongoing claims that he be returned to the White House. He is the one who urged people to, quote, kick ass and take names at the rally just before the riot. The committee also wants to ask Jordan about plans to overturn the election and to question Perry about the plot to replace the acting U.S. Attorney General. All across the board, they want to ask about how they're pushing the big lie. It's very important to note Kevin McCarthy has been heard on tape talking about how to get Trump out of office shortly after the riot. He then ran off to Mar-a-Lago and made up with Trump. Today, McCarthy was on the Hill fielding questions about these new subpoenas. He and a few other Republican targets were defiant and dismissive.
My view on the committee has not changed. They're not conducting a legitimate investigation. It seems as though they just want to go after their political opponents.
The fact that they send it to the press before they send it to the members just proves it's all about headlines. This whole thing's a charade.
I think this is an illegitimate committee and they don't really have the authority to issue subpoenas, in my opinion. So we don't want to dignify what they're doing. This has been a witch hunt from day one.
In my opinion, several federal judges have already ruled on the committee's legitimacy. And today, the chairman and his colleagues made it very clear they have the right to resort to subpoenas.
I think the committee believes that we have that authority, and we felt comfortable enough that now was the time to do it.
I have every reason to believe that people receiving subpoenas today will comply with their legal duty, and I would say moral duty, to cooperate with an investigation into an attack on Congress.
Now, we have information from other sources that lead us to believe that each one of these individuals who are our colleagues have information the committee needs to tell the full story.
Could there be more subpoenas for other members of the House and or Senate?
It's possible.
While Trump's allies in Congress are battling January 6th investigators, he himself may now have another legal fight on his hands. This one concerns those classified White House records that ended up, guess where, Mar-a-Lago. The New York Times reporting federal prosecutors have begun a grand jury investigation into whether those records were mishandled. Authorities are also asking for interviews with former Trump White House aides.